On the south side of the U.S. border in Juarez, Mexico, desperation is on full display by those trying to escape violence and oppression further south. Migrants who fled Central and South America to illegally cross the Rio Grande River into the United States, hoping to then get past that wall. On this day, a collective race for the wall because of a hot rumor heard by everyone. Have you heard the rumor about buses to Canada? That's right. The rumor was that buses with free passage to Canada were waiting on the other side of the wall. It was, of course, completely false. But this month, it brought migrants to the Juarez-El Paso border at all hours, and it underlines that for countless migrants here, the new target is north of America. And for many, the last leg of the journey to Canada begins here. So is this like a processing center?
This is the Center for Migrant Attention.
Consider the work of Enrique Valenzuela. He runs the only government office of its kind in Mexico aimed at helping migrants who've fled their home countries. And that's El Paso.
That's El Paso.
That's where they want to get.
Yes, actually, that's where they want to get.
He then took us inside to meet some of those who'd made it this far.
Nicaragua,
Ecuador,
Venezuela,
El Salvador, Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Some have asked not to be identified. All now seek safety and new lives in America and, as it turns out, beyond. Entering and claiming asylum in the U.S. isn't easy. Online forms can be filled out with personal information from those who hope to qualify at a legal crossing point, but it's complicated enough to increasingly turn eyes and dreams elsewhere. Can you ask how many we're trying to get to Canada?
Una pregunta. ¿Quiénes de ustedes estaban intentando o les interesaría llegar a Canadá? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We're told that on some days there are 400 to 500 people here, so this is a slow day, but nonetheless sobering. Jeski Urbina and Nelson Ramirez fled political violence in Venezuela 6 weeks ago. What would we tell the people of Canada, they say? We fled our country because we had to. Please give us a chance in Canada. This is everything. With 2 knapsacks, now their worldly possessions, they spent $5,000 for part of their journey on top of a freight train. That's you? Mm-hmm. On top of the train? And on foot through the deadly jungles of Panama, left behind in Venezuela, their 4 children, who they hope can follow if they can find security and a life in Canada. What do you say to your children back home? I don't know what to say, she told us.
It is heartbreaking. We hear all kinds of stories every day, heartbreaking stories of people that have gone through hardship just to get to this point. It's our mission to work together to help.
A few blocks away at this Juarez street corner, with the cold setting in, where the only shelter is whatever you can find, we found Johanna Jimenez, who fled Venezuela last September. Too afraid to now go back, unable to get further north, she now lives with her children on the streets. She too had heard that rumor about Canada, and she was among those making a run for the wall that night, only to learn it was fake news. Canada was always our destination, she says, but we're stuck here. Our dream of a better future is Canada. On the other side of Juarez, at a shelter for yet more migrants trying to get north, hot food is on offer daily. And in one of the multiple cramped makeshift bedrooms, these young Venezuelans pass the time making music. We're told that it helps to beat back the depression. Yolver Tamares fled Venezuela last summer. My goal is Canada, he says. I feel there are opportunities there for Latinos that the U.S. doesn't offer. I don't want to settle in America, and it's impossible to live in Venezuela. Pastor Miguel Gonzalez runs this place and tells us that migrants here have heard stories about Canada from, for example, Haitians who've already made it through. Their message to those stuck in Juarez?
Para las personas que viven en Canadá.
The message, he says, is that Canada is receptive to people and that migrants are treated well in Canada. And so it is that word continues to spread. But for all, countless challenges remain as the crisis for migrants worsens and desperation for a workaround grows.
Thing is, for all the government and bureaucratic roadblocks and the wall, for those who really want to get north, there's always a way.
It's a clear reminder that as governments grapple with all of it, there are those who will do whatever it takes. And for those who fail when they try, there will be another day to try again.